The doctor will see you now.
The doctor is in.
Hello. Okay, next tutorial. This time I'm dressed up as a zombified doctor and I had a lot of fun doing it. I've done a few zombie makeups before in the past, but I wanted to try and create something with a bit more character, and here we are. I like to think this character was an evil, demented doctor long before he became a zombie and it just didn't stop him from doing what he loves. So, if you'd like to learn how to do this makeup for yourself, stay tuned. Okie dokie, so the first step for this makeup is going to be applying a plain latex bald cap. Now you don't have to apply a bald cap, it really does just depend on if you're using a prosthetic or not, but as I am using a prosthetic, and I think it will extend past the boundaries of my face, I'm going to need a smooth surface to blend it off. So as always, rather than show you how to apply a bald cap in this video just to save a bit of time, I'll pop a link on the screen up there that will take you to a video that I did in the past to show you how to do that. So I'm going to go pop on my bald cap and we'll go from there. So next, I can talk to you all about the prosthetic that I'm going to be using. So the piece that I'm going to be using for this video is a full face foam latex prosthetic. It's of this really awesome zombie design with the mouth going off to the side. I've not done one like that before. I'm intrigued how this is going to work. So yeah, as you can see, the mouth kind of sweeps off to the side, so the teeth are kind of stuck out the jaw. It's amazing. And it's got so many more fun detail lines sculpted in there. It's so cool. So as with most of my foam latex prosthetics, I got this piece from mostlydead.com. I'll flash that link on the screen there. It'll also be in the description bar below. And to apply my prosthetic, I like to use a product called Prosthetic. It's just a really, really good prosthetic adhesive. And to use that product, I take a paper-based cotton bud, dip it in the Pro Stick, and then apply that to the inside of the prosthetic. So because this piece is a full face prosthetic, I'm going to start in the middle and then work my way outwards. So to start off with, I'm going to apply the Pro Stick just in the middle area, just on the nose and then on my nose. Let that go a little bit tacky and then stick that down. Then we can apply some more Pro Stick going around the face, stick that down, and then go even further out until everything is stuck down and nicely lined up and there are no air bubbles. So this piece doesn't actually cover the full mouth, but as it does cover a majority of it, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult for me to talk, so as such I'm going to switch to a voiceover now. So let's start applying this prosthetic. Okay, so there we are. So now that everything is stuck down and secure, we can start blending away all of the edges. So to do that, I take some more Pro Stick and another cotton bud, dip it in the adhesive and apply that to all of the edges around the entire prosthetic, including the eye area, the nose area and the mouth. Just make sure that when you apply it, you use a rolling motion away from the edges rather than go back and forth, as we don't want to lift up any of the edges. So then we can start working on the foundation. So the product that I'm going to be using for the base is an alcohol activated palette from Nils Materials. This one is the lighter flesh tone palette to match my skin tone, but there are other tones available. I'm using alcohol activated colours because they give a really nice translucent effect when you layer them up, and the end result tends to have a much more realistic effect and it's less flat. And to use alcohol activated colours, you of course need some 99% alcohol to activate them. So to make this effect work, I'm going to be layering up a variety of colours from this palette, starting with the deep red colour. I'm going to apply that with a medium but firm brush really sporadically around the face, making sure that I don't concentrate the colour in any one area. Having a nice red base to start with really does help to make the prosthetic look a lot less flat, and ultimately it will give it more of a realistic skin effect when we add the later layers. Then we can start applying the next layer. So to neutralise the red and give a more sickly effect to the skin, I'm going to apply a green from the same palette in the same method as before, randomly across the entire face and neck. So now that we have the base colours down, we can start building up some of the skin tones. So I'm going to be using a mixture of 3 to 4 different shades here, just to break up the complexion so it's not all one block colour. And I'm going to apply them going randomly across the face, just as I did with the red and the green colours. Then, once we have our foundation done, we can work on the wounds. So I'm going to take the red alcohol activated colour again and apply it in a dabbing motion around each of the wounds on the face. So there we are. Then next we can work on adding some more depth to the wounds. So to do that, I'm going to take my Makeup Forever Flash palette, which is a really nice palette of cream colours, and I'm going to use the black cream and apply that in the middle of each of the wounds on the face and then lightly blend that outwards. I'm then going to take the red cream from the same Makeup Forever palette and I'm going to apply that to the remaining area inside the wounds. So then I can start colouring in the fake teeth. I'm going to do that with a mixture of the white, yellow and green cream colours from the same Makeup Forever palette as before, just to make the teeth look as gross as possible. I can then define the teeth a little bit by using the black cream once again, and I can score down the sides of each tooth just to make them stand out a little bit more. Then, still with the black cream, I'm going to colour in the wounds around the exposed cheek and also highlight some of the deeper wrinkles on the opposite side of the face. I can then continue to highlight the wrinkles around the face with the same black cream, making sure not to forget the nose, the brow and the cheek areas. I'm then taking the black cream once again and I'm going to darken up the edges around all of the wounds. Next, I'm going to work on bruising up the areas around the wounds. So to do that, I'm going to take another alcohol activated palette. This one is by Skin Illustrator in Effects, and I'm going to spackle a mixture of the 2 shades of red and the black. To spackle the colour, I'm using a stiff bristle makeup brush and a fair amount of 99% alcohol, so the product is quite wet, and I'm going to gently flick the brush against each of the wounds so that the colour falls randomly and gives a nice spackle effect. Then next we can work on the eyes, so I'm going to take the black cream again and apply that quite heavily to both eyes and then blend that colour outwards. I'm then going to take the red cream again and apply that over the top of the black and then blend that out as well. So there we are, so when you're done blending it should look something like this. Next we can work on the fake blood, so I'm using Fleet Street's dark drying blood for this, but I only want to use a small amount so we don't lose too much of the detail, and I'm going to apply that with a large fluffy brush to each of the wounded areas on the face. So there we go, sometimes just a small amount of blood can be more than effective. Then we can work on the doctor's mirror piece for the forehead. So this is what I've made. It's not 100% perfect, but I think it will be effective for this look. Obviously it's completely optional, this makeup doesn't have to be for a doctor, but I just really wanted to give this makeup a theme and create a fun character with this whole creepy doctor backstory. So to make this piece, I took a face paint lid and spray painted it with silver spray paint, then attached it to an elastic strap and applied 2 metal hoops and eyelets to either end. I did make sure that it was short enough so that either end would be visible from the front, because I wanted to give the illusion that it was being held on by pins shoved through the face. I thought it had a bit more character to the look. I mean, like he was already a demented doctor before he became a zombie. The fake pins that I'm using are actually made of plastic, so they're completely safe. I actually removed them from an old latex pinhead Halloween mask. And I'm going to be sticking down about maybe 2 or 3 of them inside the loops either side of the straps. I'll be sticking them down with spirit gum. I'll also be using spirit gum to stick down the strap as well. So there we are. I did end up using 3 pins on either side of the straps. I think it looks quite fun and super effective. I'm then going to take some more Fleet Street fake blood and apply it directly below the pins and let it trickle down my face. Then finally, all that's left for me to do is to pop in some contact lenses, pop on a costume, and we'll see what it looks like. And there we go! That's my look, officially complete! So I finished off the look by putting in 2 Bloodshot Sclera contact lenses, and for the costume I popped on a white doctor's coat and stethoscope that I got from eBay, a tie and a white shirt. And I completed the whole effect by adding quite a bit of fake blood to my neck and costume, just to make it look like the characters had a cheeky midnight snack. Yeah. So yeah, that's my makeup tutorial. I really hope you all enjoyed it. I absolutely love doing zombie makeups from time to time. It's always so fun. I'm really glad I went with the Doctor theme. It definitely added a new element to the look and gave it some more character. I'd actually really like to read a backstory for this creature. I think it could be really fun. So a big thank you to everyone for watching this video. If you did like it, please make sure to, you know the usual, like, comment, subscribe and all that jazz. And yeah, so until next time, bye fluffies!